Hello programmers, I am Rushikesh. Welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to discuss the range min and range max queries for the static arrays and the motivation for sparse table data structure. So let's begin. The topics are, first we will see what is meant by range min and range max query, and then we will see the naive implementation for range min and max queries, and then how sparse table data structure can be used to efficiently compute the range queries. So what is meant by range min query? Range min query is a query for minimum value among all the values of an array in specified range. For example, consider an integer array as follows. Its indices are mentioned below the values. Now, if the question is to compute the min value in range 3 to 7 inclusive, so in this case, the min value in range is equal to -2. Now let's see what is meant by range max query. Range max query is a query for maximum value among all the values of an array in specified range. For example, consider following array and its indices are listed below the values. If the question is to compute the max value in range 5 to 8 inclusive, then the max value in this range is equal to 65, the max value in the highlighted region. So the naive implementation for range minimum query can be done without using any special data structure or algorithm. Here is the C++ implementation. Here I used min element standard library C++ function available in algorithm header, and this produces the correct output of -1 for the range from 2 to 6. Similarly, we can have naive implementation for range max query without using any special data structure or algorithm as follows. This is the C++ implementation, and here I used max element standard library C++ function available in algorithm header, and this produces the correct output as 8 for the range 2 to 6. We have seen that it is possible to address the range min and range max queries using the naive approach. The code is pretty simple. But then why do we need special data structures and algorithms to address range queries? So what are the issues with naive implementation? The time needed to process a query using the naive implementation that we have seen is directly proportional to the size of the range. So as the size of the range increases, the time needed to process the query increases. This is the main drawback of the naive implementation. But we can do better. This is where sparse table data structure is useful, because it can process range min and range max query in constant time, independent of the length or size of the range. This is the biggest advantage, that independent of the length or size of the range, the time needed to compute the range min or range max is constant. Hence, a sparse table data structure is very useful to compute the range min and range max queries. Sparse table data structure is suitable for computing the range min, range max values of a static array. It means it can be used for static arrays only, means array whose values don't change. And the constant amount of time is needed to compute the range min, range max using sparse table. This time is independent of the length or size of the range. But sparse table data structure needs extra amount of storage and extra amount of pre-processing time to construct it. Now this extra storage and pre-processing time are justified if the number of range min or max queries are huge. If they are huge, then this extra storage and pre-processing time is okay to have. Sparse table data structure can be used to address range min max queries of static arrays only. It is not suitable if the values of the array changes between the queries. That is for the dynamic arrays, or if the values of the array changes between the queries, then we cannot use sparse table data structure. We have to use some other data structures. So this is the main motivation behind why we should use sparse table data structure. In summary, it is useful for computing the range min and max queries of a static array. In the next video, we will see the details of sparse table data structure, how to construct it, and how we can use it to process the range queries. Thanks for watching this video.